Hi, everybody. My name is Justin Hewett. I am the founder and CEO of Flashlight Learning. At Flashlight Learning, we have a software platform where we are serving students who are learning English as a second language, and we sell primarily to school districts around the nation. When I first began working with Greg as one of his practical founders in one of the peer groups, I think our business was doing about $2 million in annual revenues, and today we're 4 times that size from a revenue standpoint, customers we're serving, as well as from an employee headcount perspective. There is so much information out there about how to go raise money. And there's so much information out there about, how to put together your slide deck and all of these different things and what kind of advisors and how many co-founders you should have and how many people you should put on this slide deck or that slide deck. And the reality is I didn't necessarily want to build a company. We were optimizing to go raise money. I wanted to build a company where we could go have impact and make a difference for the people that were helping us build the company and the customers, the students and teachers that we serve with Flashlight. And as I looked around, as I'm trying to get information, the best information I always found was from Greg, whether it was on LinkedIn or on his podcast. I'd listen to those podcasts religiously, every single one. And I just thought, I'd love to learn more about the peer groups and see if there's even more value I can glean. And so that's ultimately what led me to join the peer groups, is I was just getting so much great information and great coaching from Greg before I'd ever even spoken to him. I don't know what I was expecting to get out of the peer groups necessarily, but I've gotten a lot more than I bargained for. I've been able to make some really good friends with people that are going through difficult things like me. There's just nothing like building a company, bootstrapping it, trying to make this thing happen, working through, all these different challenges and then being able to bring some of those challenges to the group every month, get some of their feedback. And sometimes I bring something that I feel like is like an elephant of a problem. I'm reminded that, oh, that's actually not that big of a deal. Just like all you got to do is, a CFO would do this and this and this. Like, this is what you need to do. And it's just so great to be in there with people that all have different skill sets, that have different perspectives, backgrounds, and, that can help, kind of inform my opinion as to the best path forward for my business. I don't think the Practical Founders peer group is for everybody by any means. I think that you've got to be building a real business, something that you're over a couple $1 million or over $1 million in revenue. You've got an actual business that you can tinker on. You're not just trying to figure out if you've got something, right? You're starting to get some product market fit to some degree. I think one of the biggest things is it's people that are really invested in building their business, and this might be their last business to some degree, right? Like they're wanting to build this and build it right. They're wanting to get feedback and insight from folks who can help them navigate some of those pitfalls that plague all of us entrepreneurs, just because we don't know what we don't know. We haven't seen everything. And so being able to be in a peer group like this allows you to get that feedback. But I would say it's for those that are like actively, like really wanting to build a business, not just playing business. And I think there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there who are all about showing people and telling them what they're doing. And I think this group to some degree is more about doing the actual work. One of the things that's been most helpful for me is being able to turn to Greg in some of those moments when I've got a tough decision to make and I need a sounding board. And I don't have a board at my company. I don't have a board of directors per se. And so I have my own board of advisors, if you will, that I turn to and talk with, which Greg is one of. And there's a number of tricky situations that we get ourselves in, and that we think, when we're in the moment, it's like, how did I let this happen? How did this come together? And sometimes it's just really helpful to get some clear thinking. And Greg has seen so much. He's talked to so many entrepreneurs. He's seen so many different situations. He's able to give me really good feedback and insight. And he doesn't necessarily tell me what to do per se, but he helps me think through it, which I think is probably even more valuable. I'm really grateful to be a part of this peer group. I've been a part of a number of different, coaching groups and peer groups, and I've gotten great value out of all of them because they're typically really good people that are a part of it, and everyone's trying to do good. This is the one that I've been a part of that's probably had the biggest impact on me and helped me the most. It's provided me the most value. A big part of that is Greg, no doubt about it, and the type of people that he's attracting to this practical founder, mindset and perspective. But a big part of it is also the people that are in the room with me, when we're doing these peer group sessions. And so I'm really grateful that I get to be a part of this.